Oh, hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, are you happy? I hope you are feeling good and happy today. Here we go then. We are live again across the internet. It is myself, Mr. Duncan. For those who don't know who the heck I am an English teacher on YouTube. I've been doing this for many years on YouTube. Do you know how long? A very long time. Indeed. So I hope you are feeling well today. I hope you are happy and you are ready to spend some time. And yes, I suppose it would be fair to say that we are all going through a very strange period of time at the moment. I am, you are, and many people around the world are going through a very strange period of time. However, I would like to reassure you that we are all in a very similar situation. I am, you are, everyone is in a very similar situation because we are all having to spend time in isolation away from other people. So some people are spending their time, of course, in a large group, in their family group. So everyone is at home together, isolated. So they are actually isolated together as a group. Some people are not. Some people are alone in isolation. Some people only have one other person to keep them company. That's me, by the way. And of course, some people only have their sheep to keep them company. Look at that. There is my little sheep down there. Lady Wollington is her name. She is at the moment enjoying a little bit of sunshine here in the UK. Yes, we are here. Once again, we have made it to the end of the week. I'm being attacked by flies. We have made it through to the beginning of the week and then the middle of the week, which is where we are now. To be honest with you, I have no idea what day of the week it is. I wonder if my phone will tell me. Hello, phone. Hello, telephone. Can you please tell me what day of the week it is? Oh, apparently it's Wednesday. Yes, apparently it's Wednesday today. Can you see it there? So yes, we have made it all the way to Wednesday. I hope you are feeling all right. To be honest with you, every day seems like the same day. I feel as if I'm actually experiencing the same day over and over again. This is probably how Bill Murray felt in Groundhog Day, because it appears as if we are all spending the same day over and over again. However, there is no need to be unhappy. Please, I want to see that lovely smile on your face today, because we are all here together again. Remember, you are not alone. We are all going through a very similar situation. So I'm talking to you now from England, the United Kingdom. It's a nice day. I'm in the garden. However, I am in isolation. For those who don't know where I am far away from other people. I am isolating myself. However, I'm not alone because I have the birds, I have nature, and also I have you as well. So thank you very much for joining me today. Yesterday I mentioned some of the animals that come out at night around here. So because I live in the countryside, there are many animals that come out during the night. Here is one particular animal that I mentioned yesterday. So there is one animal. That is a badger. Badger. So I love animals very much, and this is one of my favourite nighttime animals. So this particular animal comes out at night. He normally wanders around looking for things to eat, maybe insects. So you will find this particular animal will come out normally at night. It is nocturnal. It is an animal that comes out after dark, don't you? Yes, yes, I come out after dark normally. I normally come out at night when everyone else has gone to bed. That's very nice. I hope you are keeping a safe distance away from other badgers during this time. Yes, yes, I am. Okay, good. So there is the badger. He often comes out at night and has a little walk around my garden. He does. Another animal I mentioned yesterday that comes out at night, another nocturnal creature, is this chap. Hello. This is a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are lovely creatures. They are very unusual because they have lots of sharp spines on their back. So there you can see a hedgehog. That is Mr. Hedgehog. And in a moment he will be going home to his wife because she is waiting for him. In fact, you should be in self-isolation with your wife. You are a very naughty hedgehog. You really are. Well, I have to come out to get some food. But normally I only come out at night. This is true. So hedgehogs are also nocturnal creatures. They only tend to come out at night. This is true. Okay, you can go now. Beep. So here we are together again. How has your week been? Has your week been okay? Has it been a good week? Has it been an okay week? What are you doing to spend your time during this very weird period that we are all living in? Wherever you are around the world, hello to you. I'm trying to read my screen. Unfortunately, it is so sunny here today, I'm having difficulty reading what is actually written on the screen. So I will try my best to read what you say. Hello everyone. Hello to the live chat. Hello Guadalupe. Hello Gastano. Hello also Unicorina. Lots of people joining me. Lots of regular faces and also some new people as well. If it is your first time on the live chat, please let me know. Please say, Mr. Duncan, it is my first time here. Hello to Amina. Hello, Amina, watching in Bournemouth. Very nice. On the south coast of England, a beautiful holiday resort. Many people go to Bournemouth every year to enjoy the sun, the sea, and also the sand as well. I would imagine the weather is quite nice at the moment in Bournemouth. If you've never been to Bournemouth, I suggest you check it out. When things get back to normal, you can go to Bournemouth and spend a couple of days there. Hello, Nam Nguyen. Thank you very much. You can give me a little document of new words in English, please, because I want to learn English so much. Well, you have come to the right place because English is what I do. I teach English. I talk in English. So this is a good place to come to if you want to improve your English listening, your English reading, and of course your speaking of the English language. So a lot of people find that speaking is the hardest part. It is a little bit like performing on a stage. Some people believe that speaking out loud is a little bit like performing on a stage. Hello, Mustafa. Mustafa Jordat. Hello to you as well. It is my first time on your live chat. Hi there. Nice to see you here today and welcome. I wish I could give you a round of applause, but unfortunately, I'm not in my studio. However, I will give you some live applause right now. So welcome. Welcome. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you? Hello, Nat Hong. I believe you are watching in Vietnam. I know I have a lot of people watching at the moment in Vietnam. A big hello to you. A big xin chào to everyone watching in Vietnam. Hello also to Nadurbek. Hello, Nadurbek, watching in Uzbekistan. Hello also, Helena. Nice to see you back again. Tias is here, watching in Indonesia. Also, we have Essa. Hello, Essa, watching in Saudi Arabia. We also have Abdo Fatih, who says, "It is my first time here and I'm very proud. Thank you very much for joining me and welcome." Yeah, welcome. You are very welcome to my live chat in the garden on a Wednesday afternoon. It is now 2:15. It is 2:15 on Wednesday the 8th of April 2020. I'm sure a lot of people are going to remember this year for many years to come. I'm pretty sure 5 years from now, we will all be looking back and saying to ourselves, "Do you remember 2020? It was a crazy year. It really, really was." Hello, Joe Barrow Silva. Hello to you. Hi, Mr. Duncan. I am here in Florida. Oh, Floripa Island. Oh, I see. You are watching in a very nice place at the moment, I think. I hope the weather is nice where you are as well. Yes, a very unforgettable, a very sad year. One where everyone's lives have been affected in some way. I think it is safe to say that almost everyone in the world is being affected in some way. So maybe some people are having to stay at home, maybe some people have friends or relatives who are unwell at the moment. I have my mother, she is at the moment in care, so I can't even go to see my mother because she is being looked after by a private nursing home, and they have said that I can't go to see her. So even for me, I'm being affected in some way. So I can't go to see my mother, which, to be honest with you, I'm not very happy with. Not very happy about that situation, I can tell you. Hello, Palmyra. Palmyra says, "I am not bad. I am 300 kilometers apart from my newborn baby because my son lives in the capital of Lithuania. That's a very long way away. I hope I will send my best wishes. I hope I can say hello to you and also your newborn baby. All the best for you as well." Nguyen Hong says, "I was feeling ill today." Well, I hope you are feeling all right. Don't forget, stay safe, stay away from other people if you are feeling unwell. So please take care. Noemi, nice to see you. You are in the best place to improve your English. Yes, that's what I like to think. I like to say that doing this, watching this, listening to this is a very good way to improve your English. I was with you yesterday, by the way, and we had some technical problems with the internet. So unfortunately, there is a slight problem where I live with the internet. It keeps cutting off, unfortunately. So today I am having to use my mobile phone. So I am coming to you today on my phone. So that is the reason why, sadly, there are no captions here on the live stream. However, there will be captions, subtitles later on. So at the moment, unfortunately, there are no captions on the screen. There are flies everywhere. They really are annoying me today. Yesterday, I actually swallowed a fly. A fly actually went into my mouth and got stuck in my throat. So here we are again, lots of things to talk about. The other day, I had a very interesting question. Someone asked, Mr. Duncan, can we have a look at your... can we have a look at your flip-flops? That is a very strange request. I will be honest with you, that is a very weird thing to be asked. However, quite often I do receive some very strange questions. So here they are then. Here are my flip-flops. They are very big flip-flops because I have very big feet. So there are my flip-flops. It is a very interesting word, flip-flops. They are a type of footwear that you often wear on the beach, or maybe if you are in your bathroom. So these are flip-flops, flip-flops. And the reason why they call them flip-flops is because when you walk, they make a sound. They make a sort of flip-flop. So as you walk along in these, the sound they make sounds very similar to flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. So that's the reason why we call these flip-flops. And you will often find these being worn on the beach, or sometimes if you are relaxing in your garden, maybe you will wear your flip-flops, or perhaps if you are getting out of the shower, maybe you will wear flip-flops to keep your feet off the floor as you walk along. So there they are, my flip-flops, for those who wanted to see them. And yes, before anyone says yes, they are very big. Because I have big feet, unfortunately. I can't help it. I have big feet. Lady Willington, behind me, there you can see my lovely little sheep. Lady Willington is having a very nice time in my garden. She is, at the moment, sunbathing on my lawn, having a lovely time. Hello to Anarita. Hello to you as well. We are all here supporting each other. Yes, I think that's a great thing to say. And also, one of the things I've noticed recently is many people are going out of their way to help other people. So there are many people who can't go out to get shopping or food. Maybe they are elderly. Maybe they have been told that they have to stay in the house. So there are people, very kind-hearted people, who are helping those who need help. So I always think whenever you have a crisis, whenever you have a difficult situation, I always think it brings out the best in people. What do you think? So I always think it brings out the best in people. Nam Nguyen says, I feel so funny when you say with everybody, when you talk to everybody. Sometimes I understand, but I'm so sorry so much because I listen and I understand so bad. So my advice to you is keep watching. Don't go away. Listen carefully. As I speak to you, you will hear English being spoken clearly and directly to you. So I don't rush. I don't try to say things too quickly. Sometimes I like to give you a chance to learn new words like flip-flops. Flip-flops. That's a great word. I love that word very much. For those asking where Mr. Steve is, unfortunately, he's working. So he is still working from home during this very strange time. So Steve, unfortunately, cannot join us today. However, you can see Steve every Sunday. He is with me every Sunday. Don't forget also, I'm with you every day. I'm with you every day. Every single day, I am with you live during this very weird time. Mr. Duncan, do you have Snapchat? Do I have Snapchat? No, I don't. I don't have Snapchat. I always think that Snapchat is for the young people, the young trendy people. A little bit like Instagram. I always think that Instagram is only for young people. Hello from Turkey. Hello, Sabah. Mr. Duncan, I am not familiar with the British accent that you have. Where are you from? Nice garden, by the way. Thank you very much. Well, my accent is British. I do have a slight accent. I come from the Midlands. So I'm from the Midlands area. So the middle of England is where I live and where I was raised. So you might hear sometimes there is a bit of an accent in my voice. So I do have an accent, even though people say I don't, but I do. Hello from Russia. Hello, the Eye of Sauron. Yes, the all-seeing eye. He is always watching what is going on around us. Hello to Russia, and a big privet to you. Don't forget also, can you please give me a big thumbs up? Don't forget to like what you see, and if you want to subscribe, you can as well. All you have to do is click subscribe. It's as easy as that. So today we're talking about lots of things. One of the things I would like to do, maybe next week, I might do one of my live streams from the kitchen. Does that sound like a good idea? So I might actually go into the kitchen next week and do one of my live streams from the kitchen. We will see what happens. However, when we are cooking things, quite often we will add certain ingredients to give flavour. So we often use certain ingredients to give flavour. For example, this is something that Steve bought the other day, because I think Steve wants to cook some meat, maybe next week. So this is what he bought. He bought this. So this is called dried rosemary. It is a type of herb. So there it is, rosemary. And it's a kind of dried herb. There you can see it in the jar. And it's very useful if you are cooking meat. So quite often you will use rosemary. You will put it on the meat, and then you will leave your meat to marinate. I love that word, marinate. If you marinate something, it means you leave it to soak in the flavour of something. So yes, if you marinate something, I love that word, marinate. So it is a word we use in cooking, in cookery. We say that we marinate. We leave something for a period of time to allow all of the flavour to go into the meat. You can also use rosemary with vegetables as well. You can use it with potatoes or maybe vegetables such as carrots. So a little bit of rosemary is a very lovely herb that can add lots of flavour to your food. And I know at the moment, during this weird, strange, unusual period of time, a lot of people have started cooking their own food again. Some people are baking their own bread, and some people have rediscovered the wonderful art of cooking. So rosemary is one that we use quite often with vegetables and also meat as well. You can use that. Here is something that Mr. Steve loves putting in his food. He puts a lot of this in his food. It is a type of spice that is often used in Indian food. So when we talk about Indian food, quite often it has a lot of spices, a lot of flavor. Quite often there is a lot of sauce and meat. So Indian food and Indian spice, and this is one that Mr. Steve loves so much. He likes this a lot. There it is. I hope you can read it on my screen. Garam masala. So this is called garam masala. It is a type of aromatic spice. And you can use this in Indian food. You can also marinate chicken with this. So as I said earlier, quite often we will put things onto meat and then we will leave it for a long time. So garam masala, it is a very sharp, strong spice. It really is. And Mr. Steve likes to put this in everything. Even baked beans. Can you believe it? So even when Mr. Steve is having his baked beans, he will put garam masala into the baked beans. Is that strange? Is it strange putting curry or curry powder, such as this, into your baked beans? I suppose some people might like to have their baked beans spicy. I suppose so, yes. Why not? Why not? It's a free world, after all. Hello to the live chat. I am really trying to read the screen, but unfortunately it is so. Rosemary is a little bit strong. Yes, it can be. So the smell of rosemary can be quite strong. And I think that's one of the reasons why they often use it to marinate meat. So you spread it, you rub it into the meat, and then you leave it. And then when it cooks, you have all of that delicious flavour, because the flavour from the rosemary has soaked into the meat. I know one thing, all of this talk of eating is making me feel hungry. Don't worry, Lady Wollington, don't worry. I think Lady Wollington is getting worried. I think she is starting to wonder whether or not I am going to eat her. It's okay, don't worry, Lady Wollington, I'm not going to eat you. Not yet, anyway. Hello also to Anna Pika. Do you use rosemary with potatoes? Yes, you can use rosemary. However, I like to put parsley on potatoes. So if I am boiling potatoes, quite often I like to put some parsley on the potatoes, and it gives them a very nice sharp flavour. It just livens them up a little bit, because some people think that potatoes are quite bland and tasteless. However, if you put a little bit of herb, a little bit of spice, a little bit of garnish on your potatoes, you can actually make them taste rather nice and interesting. Something else that I often use, and this is something that Steve also uses when he's making his pasta. So when Steve becomes adventurous, he goes into the kitchen and quite often he will make pasta or something with rice, or maybe an Italian meal with lots of tomatoes. He will often use this, mixed herbs. I hope you can read that in the sunshine. Mixed herbs. So when we talk about mixed herbs, this actually has lots of different things inside it, such as thyme, also sage, parsley, and also oregano. So this actually has a lot of different spices and herbs inside. So you will find in this particular one, you have lots of different herbs, including sage, oregano, or oregano. So in American English, they will say oregano. In British English, we say oregano, which sounds like paper folding. It sounds a bit like origami, but it's oregano. So there it is, mixed herbs. And this is something that Steve uses a lot. So you can use this with chicken, you can also use this with lamb, and of course you can use this with tomatoes. If you are making a delicious Italian meal, you can use this in your food. Very nice. All this talk of food is making me feel very hungry. Very hungry. Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis, watching in France. Nice to see you here again. A big bonjour to you. By the way, did you see the supermoon last night? Did you see it? A big moon was in the sky. They actually call it the pink moon. However, I did see the moon last night, and I must be honest, it didn't look very pink to me. And apparently the reason why they call it the pink moon is because there is a certain flower that represents that certain type of moon, and it happens to be pink. So apparently that's the reason why. Mr. Duncan, please can you explain the differences between wonderful and perfect? Well, something that is perfect is accurate. Accurate. Something that is wonderful is amazing. So accurate is perfect. A perfect thing is something that is exactly the way it should be. Something that is wonderful is something that makes you feel amazed. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful day. But maybe today you have planned to do something. So maybe today you've planned to have a picnic in your garden. You might say the weather today is perfect. So that means that the weather is exactly the way you want it. The way you want it. Perfect. Wonderful. A wonderful day and also a perfect opportunity. What is the population of your town, Much Wenlock? Thank you very much. I wish I could read the screen, but unfortunately it is so bright here in my garden. Thank you very much. The population of Much Wenlock, I think the population of Much Wenlock is around 5,000. Around 5,000 people live in this area. So yes, it is not a large population, but there are still lots of people around. However, where I live, there are not many people living around this particular area, fortunately. So I am quite far away from the town and the city, very far away, quite secluded. Some people might say where I live is secluded. Ooh, I like that word, secluded. So if something is secluded, we can say that it is hidden away. It is far away from other things, a secluded place. Maybe an isolated place, or a place that is far away from other people. Secluded. So I am in a secluded area. Do you like football, Mr. Duncan? I don't follow football. A lot of people ask me if I follow football. I do not follow football. Your garden is very beautiful. I hope to see your garden every day. You can. Jenny, Hello, Jenny. I used to work with a girl many years ago called Jenny. In fact, she was my boss. She was my manager many, many years ago. We are going back 26, maybe 27 years ago. Oh my goodness, I've just realized. It was a very long time ago. So I used to have a boss, a manager called Jenny, and she was very strict. She was a very strict boss. She always made sure that everyone did their jobs correctly. She was a very good manager. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Are your live lessons and streams for all levels? Thank you very much to, I wish I could read the screen today, Mustafa. Hello, Mustafa. I always say that my lessons are for everyone. So my video lessons and my live lessons are for everyone. If you can get something from this, if this is helpful to you, then this is for you. I hope that answers your question. Yes, secluded. Something that's secluded is isolated, far away. So you can see where I am is quite secluded. I am not in a big town or a big city. I'm very far away from all of those things. Apparently in Vietnam, the weather at the moment is cold and it is raining. We've been very lucky here in the UK over the past 3 or 4 days. We've had lovely weather, and apparently the weather tomorrow is also going to be nice as well. So a nice warm day tomorrow. Can I just say, tomorrow morning I will be doing an extra live stream. Tomorrow morning, very early tomorrow morning, I will be doing a special live stream. Around 5:30 in the morning tomorrow, I will do a very early live stream, and there is a special reason for that. And I told you all about it yesterday. Have you ever tasted couscous? I am preparing some couscous now. Hello, Flower Espoir. Yes, couscous. That is a very unusual thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like it. I know that sounds strange. I know you are thinking, Mr. Duncan, how can you not be sure whether or not you like something? I've tried couscous, but I'm not sure if I like it. It's okay, but I think I prefer something like rice or chickpeas. I'm not very keen on couscous. Mr. Duncan, there is something behind you. Hello, Study Point. Yes, there is. That is my lovely little sheep. That is my lovely sheep, Lady Wollington. And she is out in the garden getting a little bit of sun on her beautiful fleece. She has the brightest and the cleanest fleece in all of Shropshire, apparently. Hello to Rich Music Gaming. I like Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. I will be here every day. I am doing a live stream here in my garden every day. Or, if the weather is bad, I will go into the house and do it in my studio. So it really depends. Would you like to have a look at my shirt? So this is the shirt that I often wear. I used to wear this all the time with my live streams, but then suddenly I stopped wearing it. So there is my lovely Happy Face t-shirt. It always makes me feel happy when I see this, a big happy smiling face saying, "Don't worry, everything will be all right." So I hope you enjoy my t-shirt as well. Hello, Study Point. Yes, there is. That is my lovely little sheep. That is my Lady Wollington. Oh, great pronunciation. Thanks. You are welcome. Annie Master. Hello, Annie Master. Nice to see you here today. What is the subject of today's video? Well, during my live streams, I always try to talk about different subjects. Sometimes I will talk about a particular subject. Sometimes I will talk about lots of different things. I've just noticed a very strange bird. Hello. You're a very strange bird. Who are you? I'm just going to try and see if I can see that bird. Oh, there is a very unusual bird in the corner of my garden. I think it might be a sparrow, actually. I think it's just a sparrow. I thought it was something unusual, but unfortunately it's just a sparrow. Hello, Mr. Sparrow. I hope you are okay. Ah, dear me. There are a lot of people at the moment who are making sure that people obey the rules. We have police officers. We have people at the moment making sure that everyone keeps a safe distance from each other. So there are many people at the moment working for the police force who are making sure that people are obeying all of the rules. However, it did remind me of something that I remember seeing on television many years ago. And I'm going to show you this just very quickly. This is something I want to show you now. Mr. Duncan, please. What is it? During the war, the Second World War here in the UK, we had people called ARPs. And that meant Air Raid Patrol. So quite often, especially at night, these particular people would go around and they would make sure that all of the lights were turned off at night. So that would protect everyone from what they called the night raids. So quite often planes would fly over and they would drop bombs. So what they had these guys. They called them Air Raid Wardens. You can see the word on the screen. So an Air Raid Warden was a person who would go along and go around the streets making sure that people would observe the law and the rules. So there were many strange, many unusual rules during the Second World War. People had to stay in their homes. People had to stay in their houses. People could not have their lights on at night. So these guys, and also girls, because there were also female air raid wardens as well. So they would go around and they would make sure everyone was keeping their lights off. They were staying in darkness, so the lights could not be seen from the air. So that reminded me, you see, of that when we were talking about all of these laws that were now coming out concerning, you know what I mean. So that reminded me of what happened during the Second World War. Not that I remember it, because I wasn't around then, unfortunately. I always use garam masala also, and my vegetables are very tasty with this. Thank you, Alina. Thank you very much for that. Can you please tell us about in your town? Well, fortunately, where I live, there are no people at the moment. No one here in my town. No one is suffering with, unfortunately, you can't say it, you see, here. You can't say it. That's why I'm doing that. Hello to Swapar. Swapar. What about a guy who is in depression for 16 years? I don't know. I don't know what you were talking about or what you are referring to there. Hello, Corey. I think it means to have a quick look at something or someone. Do you mean glance? Let's have a glance. Glance. If you have a glance at something, it means you look very quickly. You look for a very short period of time. Glance. 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 I hope that helps you. Madzia. Hello, Madzia, who is watching in Poland. Yes, I have people watching all around the world at the moment. Welcome to my live stream. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Duncan. I teach English on YouTube. I've been doing this for a very long time. A very long time indeed. Many years. 10 to 3 is the time. 10 to 3. Yes, a lot of people are suffering at the moment. They are suffering with anxiety and stress. And I think it would be fair to say a lot of people are looking for remedies or things to help them stay calm. One of the things that some people are using, of course, is meditation. Meditation. So there are people at the moment who are feeling stressed and anxious. I must admit, sometimes at night, I wake up in bed and I start thinking about what is happening. So I think we are all going through that same situation where now and again we might suddenly feel a little anxious or upset by what is happening around us, especially if you've been affected by it. I suppose technically I have been affected because I can't go to see my mother, so that has upset me. But I have to stay calm, I have to see things as they are. Sometimes part of recovering or overcoming stress and anxiety is coming to terms with things, accepting what is happening, especially things that you can't change. And this is something I used to do all the time. When I was young, I used to worry all the time about many things, especially things that I couldn't change. But over time I realized that there isn't much point worrying about the things you can't change. So I started to focus my attention on the things that I could change, the things that I can make better. So that was the way I did things to help myself out. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I wish you a good health, not only physical, but also psychological. Remember, the best medicine for a person is to love and care. You are right. If it doesn't help, you must increase the dose. Thank you, Vitas, for that. Yes, I think so. Keeping in touch with other people is another good way of relieving your stress. Talking to someone. And in this amazing day and age of technology, we can talk to anyone, really, when you think about it. I mean, here I am right now, standing in my garden on a Wednesday afternoon, talking to you. And you can see me, you can hear me, so we are still able to communicate with each other. And there are many ways of doing that. Of course, you have FaceTime on your Apple phone, you have Skype. So there are many ways of keeping in touch with other people. Many ways. Hello to Ali Haj. Thank you for your lovely time and your lovely stream all the time. I think Mr. Steve will become a great cook at the end of this strange time. I think you might be right. One of the things that Steve has been doing recently, he started doing cooking again. So in the past, Steve used to cook a lot, but then he stopped doing it because of his work. And of course, sometimes we get a bit lazy. We all do. Sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I feel as if I don't want to do anything. So laziness is something that can affect all of us. And sometimes cooking. It takes too long to do. It takes such a long time to do something, to cook some food. So you might spend maybe 2 or 3 hours preparing and cooking your food, and then it takes you about 2 minutes to eat it. Especially if you eat like Mr. Steve, because sometimes Mr. Steve eats very quickly, like that. So a lot of people have started cooking again, including Steve. On Sunday, Steve made some delicious cakes, and I think he might be making something else, maybe this weekend. I think he has a little surprise for me this weekend. Ooh, very nice. I always hate doing the washing up, says Sean, after cooking. You are right. Yes, one of the worst things about cooking is quite often you will make lots of mess in your kitchen. So quite often there is a lot of cleaning up. You have to do a lot of cleaning up after you've finished cooking. Corey asks, do you like macaroni? Macaroni. Do you mean macaroni or macaroons? Macaroons I love. Last year I went to Paris with Steve because Steve won a holiday from his company. So I went with Steve last year to Paris, and we actually tried some macaroons in the place where macaroons were first produced. Apparently it was a very famous place, a beautiful restaurant, and one of their speciality is macaroons. Very nice. Yes, you are right. I like them very much. Macaroon is a cake. Yes, it is. It's a type of cake with cream inside. I like macaroons very much. Please, can you send some to me? If I remember rightly, they're made with almonds. Is that right? Macaroons. I think they have almonds. They have a very nutty taste. Hello to Real Horror Stories. I like the things, I love the people, and more stronger than that, the accurate difference and meaning with like and love. Well, you can like something and also you can love it as well. So you might like a person and you can love them as well. So I would sometimes say that like and love go together quite well. Wisława says macaron is the French president. Oh, I see. Yes, there is also that as well. Macron. Yes, you're right. So there's President Macron and there's macaroons. I don't think there's a connection. Is there a connection between those things? I don't think so. Mustafa says, I love cooking, but I don't know how to cook much. You are very similar to me, to be honest with you. And I don't mind admitting this, I am not a very good cook. I'm not. Quite often I will buy things that are already prepared and then I will cook them in the oven, but normally they are already prepared. So quite often I will cheat. Even pizza. I mean, let's be honest, pizzas are very easy to make. All you need is a piece of bread, cheese, some tomato, and whatever else you want to put on it. You see? So pizzas are actually very easy to make. However, I always go to the shops and I always buy pizzas that are ready-made. So all I have to do is take them out of the box and put them in the oven. That's what I have to do. Talking of food again, here is something that I love. Last night, by the way, we had pizza last night. Thank you, Anna. Anna asks, how was your pizza last night? Yes, we had pizza, and this is what I like putting on my pizza. Look at that. Lovely garlic. So this is another example of how I sometimes cheat when I'm cooking. So this is, you can see it is a glass jar, and inside there is dried garlic. So this particular thing is garlic. It is dried garlic. And as you can see, the garlic has been dried. There it is. So there is the garlic. You can see it. And this is what I normally put on my pizza. So whenever I make a pizza, I will often put extra garlic on top. So it's very lucky that Mr. Steve and also myself, we both enjoy garlic very much. So last night we had pizza, and yes, I did put lots of this on top. Lots of this. Ricardo asks, do you have something against vampires? Oh yes, of course, because you can use garlic to keep away vampires. Fortunately for me, I don't believe in vampires, so I think I'm all right. I've never seen a vampire. I've seen a vampire bat, but I've never seen a vampire. Hello to Mohammadi. Hello to all of the students watching. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you here on the live chat. I've been here now for 1 hour. I've been here for 1 hour. Yes, it is now 3 o'clock. So there is the time now. The time in the UK is 3 o'clock. Manuela asks, this is an interesting question. Mr. Duncan, why do you live in England? I suppose one of the reasons is because I was born here. So I was born in England many years ago. many years ago. A very long time ago. Yes, garlic is very good for you. You can use garlic in medicine. I love garlic very much. I became addicted to garlic when I was in China because you could get garlic everywhere. So they used to have garlic that was pickled, and you could just pick the garlic and eat it. Oh my goodness, I love garlic so much. The only problem is, quite often you end up with very stinky breath. So other people do not appreciate the fact that you've been eating garlic. Mr. Duncan, you look like you are in your 30s. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you. I really needed that lift. You have made me feel so happy now. Thank you very much for your kind comment. You only look like you are 30. Mr. Duncan, we have 2 eyes and we have to see the bright side and also the dark side of things. Thank you very much to Hami Drzeka. Thank you very much. Yes, you are right. As with everything in life, there is a good thing and a bad thing. And I suppose, as I said in one of my lessons many years ago, life comes with no guarantees or promises. You might find that life sometimes is easy, but then sometimes it is difficult. So I think life is one of those things that has its ups and downs. It has its rough and smooth. So you can't always have a good life. You can't always have a happy life. You can't always be happy. There are always things that come along and they spoil your plans for the future. Maybe a person says something that upsets you. Maybe there are difficulties that you weren't expecting ahead of you. So life is a little bit like that. It is a little bit like going along a road. Sometimes the road is smooth and sometimes it is a little bit bumpy as well. Garlic is something I only eat at home. Yes. So never eat garlic if you are planning to meet other people. So if you are planning to visit your friends or go out on a date, don't eat garlic, okay? Whatever you do, do not eat garlic. Mr. Duncan, is there a sheep behind you? Yes, there is. There is my little sheep. That is my lovely Lady Wollington. And she is outside enjoying this lovely sunshine on this Wednesday afternoon. She is having a lovely day out here in the sunshine. Unicorina says, Mr. Duncan, your little sheep is a very good guard. Yes, some people have dogs. I have a sheep. So that is my guard sheep. Lady Wollington makes sure that I am safe during this strange time. Your garden could be a landmark like Abbey Road. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if my garden will be as famous as Abbey Road, but thank you very much for your compliment. That's very kind of you to say. Taylor Woods. Hello, Taylor Woods. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you today? I'm okay. I'm in the garden. I've made it all the way to Wednesday. Even though when I woke up this morning, I had no idea what day it was. I just couldn't remember. I had to try so hard to remember what day it is. Fortunately, my phone was next to the bed. So all I had to do was look at my phone and, it's Wednesday. So now I knew, or I found out by looking at my phone. But the problem at the moment is every day feels like the same day. It's very strange. Yes, please don't eat garlic before you go out with your girlfriend, says Jenny, especially if you are meeting her for the first time. Oh, yes. Now that is something we are going to talk about in a few moments. Have you ever been in a situation where you meet someone for the first time? So maybe, I don't know, maybe you are going for a job interview. Have you ever met someone for the first time who you didn't know and you had no contact with before? What is the first thing you look at? I'm asking that question because that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit later. We are going to talk about first impressions. So when you first meet someone, maybe you are going for a job interview, or maybe you are going on a blind date. Ooh, if you are going on a blind date, maybe you are meeting a boy or a girl on a blind date. What is the first thing you look at? Rebecca says, face. I always look at a person's face. Phoebe says, I look at their eyes, for sure. So a lot of people might look at the eyes. Quite often, you might not realize it, but if you are looking at a person and you can see the whole of them from the head to the toes, quite often people will look at their shoes. Isn't that strange? Apparently, one of the things we often do when we meet a new person or a person we haven't met before, we will often look at their shoes. For some reason, shoes are a very good indicator of how a person takes care of themselves. So if their shoes are clean and shiny, or if they are new or expensive, you might think, ooh, his shoes are very clean. I think he must be a very clean person. Maybe he has a very clean house, or she has a clean house. She takes good care of herself. So yes, I think when you meet a person for the first time, you might look at their shoes. You might have a look at their feet. Because sometimes people forget what's on their feet. They might just put any old shoes on their feet before they go out. I think so. Hello from Vietnam, Blue Thunder. Hello to Blue Thunder. Nice to see you back here again. What are you doing at the moment? Hello. Huh. A little robin just came down and landed right by my feet. How strange. Isn't that nice? Yes, I always look at the shoes. I don't know why. I think people do because it's a very good indicator. It is a very good way of working out whether or not the person takes good care of themselves. I think that's what it is. I think we look at people's shoes because that's the thing that a lot of people forget when they are putting their clothes on. So maybe you wear a nice shirt, maybe you wear a lovely dress. I know I do sometimes. But you might also look at their shoes because the other person might not really care about what shoes they wear. So if your shoes are nice and clean and sparkly, they will think, ooh, I think this person might be good. Ooh, I think so. So the same thing applies if you are going for a job interview. So maybe if you are going for a job interview, perhaps the person who is interviewing you might look at your feet to see what your shoes look like. So you look next time. The next time you meet someone, maybe someone in the street, have a little look at their shoes to see if they're clean or not. How beautiful is your garden? I wish to be there now. Well, you almost are. You are almost here. You have the sounds. You have the sounds. You have the sights. So it is almost as if you are here right now. You might also look at people's hands as well, especially their fingernails. So you can see my fingernails are quite nice. I think I have lovely fingernails. Even though the other day someone said, Mr. Duncan, your fingernails are too long. Too long. We don't like your fingernails. They are too long. So this morning I actually cut my fingernails. So they are short. So I have cut my fingernails and now they are nice and short. So maybe we look at people's hands. We look to see if their hands are clean and also if their fingernails are long. I think so. Duc Tang, watching in Vietnam. Yes, there is a little sheep. That is Lady Wollington. She is keeping me company at the moment during these strange times. Normally you have a heron behind you. Is the sheep a friend of the heron? Maybe, yes. To be honest with you, I have never introduced the heron to the sheep. Never. I've never done that before. That is a great idea. It is a strange time. Yes, it is a very strange time, and we must keep our fingernails clean. So that's what I've done. I've cut my fingernails. They are all lovely. They are very clean, very nice. I've washed my hands, so everything is nice and clean. I love your sheep very much. Thank you very much. And I think my sheep likes you as well. Don't forget, the word sheep is not used as plural. So if you have 1 sheep or 100 sheep, it is still sheep. So the word sheep, we often say it is uncountable. However, you can count sheep. So you can have 20 sheep. You can have 1 sheep. You can have 1,000,000 sheep. Imagine that. Imagine having 1,000,000 sheep in your garden. Imagine the noise. Lots of noise. Hello, All Time Entertainment. Hello to All Time Entertainment. I love you, sir. Thank you very much. So when we first meet someone, we often look at their face, their clothes, maybe their shoes. We might also make other judgments about them. Maybe their appearance. Are they attractive? Are they unattractive? So there are many ways of describing a person and many ways of looking at a person when you first meet them. And in that case, we often describe that as first impressions. So there it is. It is now on the screen. We often talk about first impressions when we meet a person for the first time. So maybe a person you've never met before. We will look at them closely. We will judge what they are wearing. We will look at them. Sometimes we do it subconsciously. So sometimes we judge other people without even realizing it. So sometimes in our mind we might judge what a person looks like or what they are wearing. So first impressions. When you meet someone for the first time, we say first impressions. The first things that you notice when a person meets you. The first thing you notice. You might have the first glance. The first glance. You look at them closely. You want to see what they're wearing. You want to see what the shape of their face is. You want to see what they look like. What do their clothes look like? So we often do this. We often judge people at the first glance. Or, of course, we can say the first look, the first glance, or the first look. When you meet someone for the first time, we can describe it as the first encounter. Oh, I like this word, encounter. The first encounter is the first meeting. So the first time you meet someone, the first time you meet a person, maybe during a job interview, or maybe you are going on a blind date. Have you ever been on a blind date? Have you ever done that? Have you ever arranged to meet someone on a date? However, you've never actually met them before. So the first encounter. So when we say encounter, we mean meet or the meeting. You have an encounter. You have an experience, normally through meeting another person. Encounter. I always remember a very great science fiction film called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Quite often we will have an impression of someone. So when you first meet someone, you will immediately have an impression. You will have some sort of impression as to what that person is like. I think it's natural to do that. Sometimes, of course, those first impressions can be false. You might get the wrong impression. So an impression is something that you see, and quite often it will stay in your mind, and you will have time to think about it, to consider it. What is the impression that a person leaves? They make an impression. They leave an impression. They affect you in some way. A person can also make an impact as well. If you make an impact, it means you do something that they remember. So a person can have an impact. They can make an impact on you. Maybe they're doing something very unusual. Maybe they are doing something in a very special way. Maybe they are wearing some very beautiful clothes. So they make an impact. They make an impact. You make an impact. I'm sure in our lives we have all met someone who has made an impact or left an impact on our lives. They leave an impression. So you might leave an impression on another person. You leave an impression. So they remember you. Have you ever met someone and immediately you like them? I don't know what it is. So sometimes you can meet a stranger and for some reason, I don't know how or why, you actually like them. I remember when I first met Mr. Steve, immediately I liked him because we seemed to have a very similar character. We got along. We were able to talk very easily. So it is strange when you first meet someone, sometimes things just work out. It works. I don't know how or why. And there is a word that we use. So when two people meet and they get along very well, we can say that they click. I love that. So when two people meet each other for the first time and they get along very well, we can say that they click. They click. It means that they get along very well. They seem to get along with each other. They click. So I like that. It is a great expression. We often look at a person to see what they look like, their appearance, and also whether or not they are neat and tidy. Clothing can sometimes leave an impression. Sometimes the clothes that you wear can leave an impression. That's very nice. Thank you. Anna Pika says, the first time I saw you and Mr. Steve, you left a very good impression, or you made a good impression. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Isn't that nice? Is there any snake in your environment? We don't have snakes around here. However, there are sometimes grass snakes. However, they're not harmful. They will just go past and slither away. So no, we don't have any actual snakes around here. Sometimes you might see some grass snakes, but not many. We don't get many snakes around here, which I'm quite glad about, to be honest. I am. Saturino! Mr. D, you've got to look at her hands because she has very pretty and smooth hands. Ah. She doesn't do any chores at home. Ah, I see. Saturino. Mr. Duncan, you must look at the lady's hands. So if you are meeting a lady, you have to look at her hands to see if her hands are soft and beautiful. And that means that she doesn't do much housework, or she doesn't do much work. Well, that might be a good thing. It might not be a bad thing. That actually might be a good thing. Maybe she is a millionaire and she has lots of servants. You must also be smart and presentable. Perhaps you are going along for a job interview. And this is something that a lot of us have to do in our lives. We have to go for an interview for a job. Very stressful thing. I've done it. In my life, I have been for many job interviews. And one of the most important things is to be smart and presentable. Smart and presentable. You must look smart and presentable. You must have a lovely appearance. Smart. Thanks for your comments, Mr. Duncan. Your lessons are always very useful. I am grateful. Thank you, Anna. You are welcome. The first impression of you many years ago was, this man is crazy. I don't know what you mean. I really don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Do you know what he means? No. Mr. Hedgehog doesn't know what you mean. What about Mr. Badger? What do you think, Mr. Badger? Do you think I'm crazy? Oh, you don't have to lick my ear. Yes, Mr. Badger says he also disagrees. Mr. Badger says that I'm not crazy. So I don't know why you would think that I'm crazy. I really do. Do you know why? I don't know why anyone would think I'm crazy. Would you? Anyway, off you go. Bye-bye. Why would anyone think that I'm crazy? I have no idea. Of course, when you meet a person for the first time, when you first meet someone, you also have to have good personal hygiene. Personal hygiene. You have to look clean. You have to clean your teeth. You have to wash your body so you don't smell bad. Mary Amosa. Hello, Mary. Mary Amosa says, you are always smart and presentable. I hope I can learn lots from you. I hope so as well. I hope my lessons and also my live streams will help you a lot. I really do. So your personal hygiene refers to all of the things that make you attractive or make people like you. Have you ever met a person who has very bad breath? Ooh. Nothing worse than that. Nothing worse. Or maybe they smell. There is a horrible smell coming from their body. So that can be very, very off-putting. Now there's an interesting word. Something is off-putting. Off-putting. If something is off-putting, it means you feel repulsed by it. Something that you don't like about that person. It makes you dislike someone. It is a part of their character or maybe something else that you dislike. Something is very off-putting. Off-putting. So there it is. Your personal hygiene. So when we talk about personal hygiene, quite often we will talk about your breath and also your body. So we are talking about smells. We are talking about horrible smells coming from a person, from their mouth or their body. Ugh. Maybe a person does not shower every day. Maybe someone doesn't take a bath. Maybe they never clean their teeth and they are all rotten. and falling out. I think someone is starting to cut. Well, it was nice and quiet until that started. When a team colleague told me that when he visited a family in England, there was not much they were not very hygienic. There is something that people say about English people or British people. They often say that British people have very bad teeth. But my teeth are quite nice. Do you like my teeth? I will let you see my teeth. Ding. I think my teeth are rather nice. So there is a thing, especially with Americans, a lot of people in the USA think that British people all have terrible teeth. Some of us have bad teeth. Some of us have awful teeth. But I would say that most people take care of their teeth very well. But it is a thing that sometimes people say about British people. They say, oh, they never look after their teeth. Their teeth are always crooked and they stick out. Mr. Duncan, are you married? Asks all-time entertainer. Am I married? No, I'm not. And that's why I look so happy. Da-da! Thank you very much. Mr. Duncan, I love your sheep and all the nature behind you and around you. Thank you, Taylor Woods. You are kind and I do appreciate your lovely comment. The sun is now starting to move around. You can tell from my shadow that the sun is actually moving slowly around. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you? I am okay. Are the dentists there part of the NHS? Sergio, that is a very good question. The answer to that is yes and no. There are dentists that will give treatment through the NHS. However, the same dentists will often do private work. So most dentists here in the UK are actually private. You have to pay them for all of the treatment. And sometimes the treatment is very expensive. So quite often people will have to go to the dentist. If you are unemployed or if you have very little money, you can actually have the work, you can have the treatment done on the NHS, the National Health Service. So you can claim that back. So you don't have to pay the full amount. So yes, it is true, we have NHS dentistry and also private dentistry. For example, if I go to the dentist, and I hate going to the dentist, I hate the dentist so much, I really do. If I go to the dentist, I have to pay for it because I have to. I have no choice, unfortunately. However, these days, I'm just going to move my camera slightly. Excuse me. That's better. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, the sun is moving around now, so the shade is starting to come over my face. There are some people who will have their dentist treatment for free, but unfortunately I have to pay for mine. However, you can get insurance. You can have insurance that you can pay every month. And so if you have to go to the dentist, you don't have to pay to use the dentist. So a lot of people now will take insurance, protection. So if their teeth become bad or if they have an accident involving their teeth, they can go straight to the dentist because they have insurance. Ricardo, do you know how much one implant will cost? If you have one tooth put in your mouth, a fake tooth, an implant, I think it's around about £900 for one. It is not cheap. So if you have just one tooth implanted, so that means the whole tooth is put into your jaw. Ugh, I don't like the sound of that either. Yes, it's around about £1,000. £1,000 to have an implant, a fake tooth, to replace one of the teeth that has fallen out. Yes, they are quite expensive. Dentistry, dental treatment here in the UK is very expensive. I will be honest with you. In fact, I would say it is the most expensive form of treatment that anyone can have. I think of all the things, dentist or dentist treatment is very expensive here in the UK. Mr. Duncan, I have to go from here in 2 minutes because I am going to paint some chairs for my mother. Okay, Taylor, see you later. I will be back with you tomorrow. I'm here every day. I'm doing my live stream every day. So I'm back here tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be in the garden. Also, tomorrow morning, something extra. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing now. Tomorrow morning at 5:30 in the morning, I am going to get up very early and I'm going to do a short live stream with the beautiful Dawn Chorus. Dawn Chorus. That is when all of the birds wake up and they all start singing at the same time. So as the sun rises in the morning, all of the birds will suddenly burst into song. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up early. I hope I will get up early. I will set my alarm clock and I will get up very early and we will actually listen to the Dawn Chorus together. And it's amazing. It is the most amazing thing that exists in history of nature. So this is something I want to show you tomorrow. I'm hoping that I will get up tomorrow morning in time. So it will be around about 5:30 a.m. What? What? Mr. Duncan, you can't get up that early. 5:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, I am going to get up. I'm going to set my camera up out here. And as the sun begins to rise, all of the birds will wake up at the same time and they will all start singing. And the sound is amazing. So imagine hundreds of birds singing at the same time all around you. All of the trees, all of the places where the birds are, they are singing. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. First thing in the morning, very early. Please join me for that. And then, of course, later on tomorrow, I will also be with you with my normal live stream. Unless, of course, I'm still in bed, which I might be. So that's tomorrow morning. I am doing a very unusual, short live stream tomorrow morning. Hello to Evangeline. Hello to you. I think some people don't need to go to the dentist and they can keep their own teeth until the end of their lives. This is true. Some people are very lucky. I don't know how it happens, but some people are able to go through their life without having many problems with their teeth, whilst other people, like me, in the past, I've had many problems with my teeth. I've had all sorts of problems with my teeth, especially in my very young years. So when I was a child, my teeth were terrible. I had lots of teeth coming through at the same time, and my teeth were all going like this. So this is what the inside of my mouth looked like when I was a child. That's what the inside of my mouth actually looked like. It looked like that, really, honestly. I'm not joking. That's what it looked like. So they had to take lots and lots of teeth out. They had to take 10 teeth out at the same time. What about your eye test? Oh, very good. Hello to Sedar. Hello, Sedar. Yes, you can have your eye test as well. You have to go to the opticians. The optician will test your eyes. As you can see, you may have noticed that I wear glasses. And the reason why I wear spectacles, I wear glasses, because I have something called myopia. Myopia, which means that I can't see things far away. Myopia. I am myopic. I am short-sighted. So most people will describe what I have as short-sighted. Mr. Duncan, how can one write an effective essay? Please recommend me a good book. Here is my advice. If you are writing an essay, always write about something that you know or something that you enjoy. So if you are writing an essay, I always find that it's much easier to do it if you talk about something or write about something that you have a genuine interest in. A genuine interest. So you have an interest in a certain subject. And if you do, it is much easier to produce an essay. And you need to explain very clearly what the essay is about, what it is for, and what you are trying to achieve from the essay. So you might ask yourself, why am I writing this essay? What is the reason for it? What am I trying to tell people with this essay? So before you start writing anything, I think you have to make sure that you understand the subject you are going to write about, but also understand the reason why you want to write about it. And once you understand those things, it becomes much easier to do. Trust me, much easier. Hello, Shakira. Hello, Shakira. I find your videos very helpful. Thank you very much. I have been with you for many days during this strange, weird period of time. So I will be with you tomorrow and for the rest of this month. I am with you every day live on YouTube. Hello to Energiamar. You have a great personality and you are quite entertaining. Thank you very much. Well, I always say that teaching should be something that is fun for the person doing the teaching, but also the people receiving the tuition. So the people who you are teaching, your students, should be just as excited as you are. So if you enjoy what you do, the people in front of you will also enjoy what you are doing. So this is something I learned to do when I was teaching in the classroom. So the way I do this is very similar to the way I teach in the classroom. Very similar. Hello to Jadula. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you here. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Have you ever failed in love? Oh dear. Oh, that's strange. As I said that, the sun went in. Isn't that strange? As soon as I said that sentence, the sun disappeared. Have you ever lost love in your life? Have you ever lost a person, maybe a person who you loved, but unfortunately they wanted to go with someone else instead? I know what people say. They always say, don't worry, Mr. Duncan. There are plenty of other fish in the sea. But I wanted that fish. I wanted that fish. And it swam away. Sometimes love can be very cruel. Sometimes love can be a lot of hard lessons. The sun has come back now. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you for returning. It's nice to see you again. Wasn't that strange? Thank you for the cloud. There was a cloud up there that I had placed to make sure that that cloud went over at that very moment. Mr. Duncan, can you give us some phrases about business or related to being commercial? So when we talk about commercial things, we are talking about doing business, promoting your business, undertaking business. So there are many different types of business, many different types of business, and we often use the word enterprise as well. I'm not sure if you've ever heard this word used. Enterprise. Enterprise. So enterprise just means that you are putting yourself forward. You are doing things, you are creating things in a business sense. So enterprise, you are an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is a person who is very good at business. They are very good at creating businesses. They are an enterprising person. So yes, the world of business and the world of business English is a very big subject. Sometimes I do talk about that as well. Sometimes I do talk about that particular thing. Mr. Duncan, can we do the English test after we learn your lessons? Well, I can only teach so much. But of course, you must also study other things as well. There are many books that you can study. You can look at many textbooks. I always say you should always have a dictionary. Always have a dictionary. Always. If it's in your phone, or maybe a real dictionary, a real book for you to look at. So I always suggest that you must at least have a dictionary. However, there are many other aspects and things that you have to learn when you are studying English. So my lessons are here to help you create an English environment. So everything I do here is designed to give you an English environment. So you have something to watch. You have something to look at, to create the feeling of being in an English environment. So that's what I do, and that's why I do it. Lewis. Hello, Luis Mendez again. Don't forget, by the way, to give me a lovely like. Can you give me a lovely thumb, a lovely like on my video? And then YouTube will tell everyone in the world that Mr. Duncan exists. He is not just in your imagination. I am a real thing. I really do exist, even though some people still don't believe that I exist. Some people think that I'm like Santa Claus. Some people think Mr. Duncan doesn't really exist. They think maybe I am a cartoon character designed by Walt Disney. I gave you a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Give me a lovely thumbs up on this beautiful sunny day. Summer is now coming. Can I just say how happy I feel that summer is on its way? I really do. I feel so happy and excited. So how are you spending your time at the moment? What are you doing during this strange lockdown period? How are you spending it? What are you doing? Maybe you are reading a book. Maybe you are learning a new subject. Maybe you are trying to take up a new hobby. So I think a lot of people at the moment are actually taking up new hobbies, new interests, new things that they want to do with their life, which I think is fantastic. However, some people are also watching television. Do you like watching television? I like watching television very much. When I was a child, I used to watch TV all the time. My mother used to put me on the floor in front of the television, and I would stare at the television for many hours watching the pictures. They were so lovely and colourful, and I was very attracted to them. So when I was a child, I used to watch a lot of TV. However, during these strange times, I am also watching some very interesting television programs. Would you like to have a look at what I'm watching at the moment? So here we go. So this is one thing that I'm watching, and I must be honest with you, I have watched this program many, many times before. I've watched it many times in the past. I'm sure some of you will recognise this. Have you ever watched this program? Columbo. It is one of my all-time favourite TV shows. So at the moment I have the DVD set. So I have all of the episodes of Columbo. So this is what I'm watching. Sometimes in the afternoon I will watch Columbo. I will watch this TV show. And can you believe this TV show started in the very early 1970s? The 1970s is when this TV show started. And they made the last one, I think, in 2003. So I think this actually ran for many, many years. Incredible. So nearly 30 years this TV show was made. 30 years. Incredible. Columbo! Yes, I love this program very much. And this is very unusual because normally with police dramas or programs where a crime is committed, quite often you will not see the person committing the crime. However, with Columbo, you do see the crime being committed, and you also see the person who did it. So there is a very unusual thing about Columbo in the fact that you actually know who committed the crime. All you have to do then is watch how Columbo finds the murderer or the killer. So that is the interesting thing about Columbo. You already know who did it. You already know at the very start of each episode who the villain is. And you have to watch Columbo slowly catch the person. So that's the reason why I like this show. I have watched this series many, many times in the past. Lots and lots of times, to be honest. So that is one of the things I've been doing. I've been watching one of my favourite TV shows, Columbo. My wife, she's a big fan of yours. And one of Columbo's well-known catchphrases, one of the things he often says, he will start to walk away and then suddenly he will say, "Just one more thing." That's what he will say. He will say, "Just one more thing." That means he has something else to ask. So it looks as if he's leaving the room. But suddenly he goes, "Just one more thing." That means he has something else to say or something else to watch. One of the things I love about Columbo is he doesn't care about his appearance. So he often looks very scruffy, very untidy. And that is the thing about Columbo. Most people will judge him incorrectly because they look at him and they judge him by his appearance, when in fact his character and his brain is very sharp. He has a very sharp character. His mind works very well. So he will often trick people into believing that he is untidy or he's not very clever. So it's a great way of catching someone. It is a great way of catching a villain. You make them believe that you are stupid. And then they will start making lots of mistakes. They will make lots of mistakes. Hello, Omar. Nice to see you here today. You can see now the sun has moved around. I am now suddenly in the dark. I hope you can still see me all right on the screen. Hello to Evangelina again. Did you know how we can improve English language by watching movies? There are many ways of improving your English. If you are watching movies, many ways. You can listen to what is being said. It can also be used to help you understand accents as well. So I would say, yes, I would say that watching movies is a very good way of learning English. Listening to English. And also, many movies will also have captions as well. So quite often movies will have captions. And because of that, you can also read what they are saying as well. So yes, there are many ways of using movies. Mr. Duncan, I have just started to watch Columbo, says Study Point. Really? What a coincidence. Wow, that is amazing. I can't believe it. That's incredible. Luigi says, yesterday I watched Mind Your Language. It is very funny. Thank you, Luigi. And that is something I recommended last week for you to watch. It is a very funny TV show. Hey, Mr. Duncan, sometimes I know the meaning of a word, but I can't use the word whilst talking or giving presentations. What is the solution for it? Well, if you are giving a speech or a presentation, you should always have something in front of you. You always have some notes in front of you. So never give a presentation without having some notes in front of you. It is a very important thing to do. A very important thing to do. So if you are giving a presentation to a lot of people, always make sure you have some notes written down. Oh, can I say hello to Aya El Jahari? Aya El Jahari. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I call myself Adam, and I am 12 years old. Hello, welcome to my live chat. Helena says, Columbo makes me so nervous. He is a very good person to model yourself on, because people might assume that you are not very clever. They might assume that you don't have much money, or maybe you are not very wealthy. So sometimes appearances, the way a person appears, can be very deceiving. I think so. Very deceiving. I will be going soon. We have almost come to the end of today's 2 hours. I've been standing here for 2 hours talking to you. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. Seda. Hello, Seda. Columbo is actually very similar to Sherlock Holmes. I think so. I think you are right. They use very similar techniques. So Columbo often uses psychology to trick people into saying things, or sometimes he will notice very small details. And Sherlock Holmes had the same ability. He would often watch people or listen to what they were saying. He would look at their actions. So yes, I think you're right. They are very similar in the way they used to solve their crimes. You are right. I am going in a few moments. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for today's video. You are welcome. I hope you've enjoyed it. I always hope that this is helpful. I always hope that something that I've done today is helpful to you. I really do, because that's the reason why I do it. I will be back with you tomorrow once more. Sean asks, is Columbo available online? Maybe. I think it might be. I'm not sure where, but maybe, maybe not. There might be some clips, so there might be some episodes of Columbo here on YouTube. I don't know, I'm not sure, but maybe. Hello to Prem Singh. Hello, Prem Singh. Why ignore? I'm not ignoring you. Sometimes I don't see the messages. Why ignore? I am talking to you now. Prem Singh, welcome to my live chat. It is nice to see you here today. But sometimes I don't see the messages because they move very quickly on my screen. My screen is very small, you see, and they move very quickly. So sometimes I don't see your message. So I'm not ignoring you. Don't worry about that. I would never do that. I would never do that. Hello again, Mr. Duncan. I am Adam, as I said before, and I am watching your videos every day. I wish I could speak English fluently like you. Well, why not? As I always say, why not? Why not? There is nothing stopping you. Life is there for you to take hold of. If you want to do it, try it. That's what I say. Enjoy the rest of your day, Mr. Duncan, and don't forget to wash your hands. I will. I will wash my hands in a few moments. I promise. Thank you for your company today. Thank you, Latif. Thank you, Luis. Luis Mendez. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, early tomorrow morning. I am going to get up very early. I'm going into my garden and we are going to enjoy the dawn chorus as all the birds wake up and start singing together. So tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. I can't believe I'm doing this. 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to wake up early. I will come outside. I will start my camera and then we will listen to the dawn chorus as all the birds start singing together. And then, of course, I will be back with you at the normal time tomorrow, which is 2 p.m. UK time. So whether you join me in the morning for the birds, or whether you join me later for more of this, the choice is yours. This is Mr. Duncan saying thanks a lot. Don't forget to give me a like. Come on, I want to see 200 likes. Can I have 200 likes? That would be nice. 200. Let's go to 200, shall we? Yes, tomorrow I will be with you at 2 p.m. and also very early in the morning with the wonderful dawn chorus. I can't wait. I feel excited just thinking about it. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. This is Mr. Duncan saying I am very happy to see you here again. Don't forget, you are not alone. We are all in a very similar situation. Oh, yes, we are coming towards 200. Let's get 200 likes. Come on, come on. Click like, please, please, please click like. Please like me. Please. And then tonight I will have a nice sleep in my bed. And then tomorrow I can wake up early and I can show you the dawn chorus. Yes! We have 200 likes. Very nice. Catch you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the past 2 hours. I can't believe I've been here for 2 hours talking to you. However, here I am, proving it. Thank you very much, Sergio, Sean, also. Thank you very much to Sravan. Hello also, Marina. Thank you very much for your company today. Thanks a lot for joining me. This is Mr. Duncan for the last time today, saying thanks for watching. See you later. Stay happy. Stay safe. Please, stay safe. Stay happy. Stay healthy. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow in the morning, I will be with you very early, 5:30 a.m. and then tomorrow also 2 p.m. UK time. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. Oh, Mr. Duncan, please don't finish, says Independence. Please, please don't finish. I have to go now for 2 reasons. 1, I'm going to have a cup of tea. And 2, I have to spend a penny as well. I could always do it here, I suppose. I could always spend a penny here. Would you like that? Probably not. Thanks for watching. See you later. And of course, until tomorrow when we meet here again, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.